And looks like it's working. Oh, it's finally working. Okay, awesome. So, tansi everyone. Oki, bonjour, hello. Welcome to another Tuesday. It's been a crazy day for me, so unfortunately I'm a little late today, but I'm excited because tomorrow is International Women's Day, and so today I will be sharing a lot more women's songs. I always do that leading up to events like the March for Murder Missing Indigenous Women, Girls, and Two-Spirit People on Valentine's Day, March 14th, or on May 5th, which is Red Dress Day, or on February 4th, which is of Sisters in Spirit. But International Women's Day is very important as well because there are many marginalized women around the world, and I think it's really important to kind of draw attention to those things. But also, it's really important to just rise the voices up of many women, Two-Spirit people, girls, and really those marginalized and exploited people around the world. And so, hello! I just wanted to welcome everybody in a good way by acknowledging the land upon which we stand. So I live in Mulkinstis, which is Treaty 7 in Calgary, and I'm just really thankful and humbled to live here where I am, even though I am Cree, Anishinaabe, and Métis from Muskeg Lake Cree Nation, which is in Treaty 6 territory, not far from Saskatoon. But this area that I'm in, this is the Blackfoot Confederacy, but I've learned from many different knowledge keepers and elders, and I'm really thankful to be here and to really call this my community, and I'm very thankful. And so I acknowledge the Blackfoot, or the Nitsitapi, or Nitsitapi, depending on who you, which dialect you're looking at, from Siksika, Kainai, and Piikani. I honor the Sarsi Dene from Tsuut'ina and the Stoney Nakoda of Morley, which includes Chiniki, Bearspaw, and Big Stony. Wesley has changed their name to Big Stony, and so now it's a pleasure to be able to say that instead. And so I also want to acknowledge the Métis of Region 3. I have finally found my Métis sash, and I figured out what happened. My cat has decided that sashes are very comfortable, and I caught him. Well, I found it and I put it away, and then I caught him dragging it under my bed to cuddle in it. And so now I have my sash back and I'm hanging it much, much higher so he can't get it. But I acknowledge the Métis of Region 3, and I'm proud to wear my Métis sash to act as that bridge between Indigenous and non-Indigenous culture. And so it's important to acknowledge the land. It's important to acknowledge where you are, because if you don't know where you are, you don't know where you're going. But also, it's a privilege. It's a privilege to be here. It's a privilege to see how far we've come, to know the stories, to learn the stories, and to really build relationships with people in a good way. And so to welcome everyone in, I wanted to share the Cree welcome song. Traditionally, we sing songs in rounds of 4. One of the 4 directions of the medicine wheel, but this song is a little different. We sing it in rounds of 3 to keep the circle open and welcoming so everyone completes the circle. Because in a circle, we're all connected. There's no beginning, there's no end. No one is greater or less than anyone else in the circle, just like in the hoop of life. So it teaches us to honor each other for those differences. Because again, if we were exactly the same, the world would be incredibly boring and nothing would ever, ever, ever get accomplished. So we need those differences to help our community to thrive. And so that's really what the song honors. And I'm so thankful for the Nataha family for sharing this song in a good way. And for families like the Nataha family for keeping our songs and our stories and our traditions alive. And so Miyasin really honors that. It doesn't just mean welcome, although it does welcome in all of our ancestors. So whenever I start something, I feel like it's a beginning, because I feel like I'm calling in my ancestors with this song, and I feel like they're always standing with me. And it doesn't just mean welcome, it also means beautiful. And I'm going to stand up. My ankle is remarkably better this week, so that is good. Lots of stretches. Miyasen, miyasen, hasemina, hasemina, epentakote, niwagomagan, hota, homa, kitaskino, miyasen, miyasen, hasemina, Miasen, hasemina, hasemina, epetakote, niwagomagan, hota, homa, Kitaskino. Hi, hi, and welcome to the circle, everybody. So, yeah, Miigwech for joining me today. I'm excited because it is International Women's Day this week, well, tomorrow, and I'll be presenting at a gala, which is going to be pretty cool. But I wanted to start today with a smudge using the women's medicine, which is, of course, a sage. And again, that's just in my teachings, and so everybody's teachings might be a little different depending on where they're from, the medicines that are available to them, and so I just think it's a really beautiful way to begin. So I found the sage that was gifted to me, so I'm going to be using some sage that was gifted to me today. Well, that was a bouncy piece of thread. All right. Oh, neat. I never thought of doing it that way. They used like a twist tie. I don't know where that went. Okay. And that's a really beautiful gift. Thank you very much. I love it when I'm gifted medicines because I know that I'm going to use them. And so, even though I'm only going to be using sage today, I still laid out all of my other medicines. Oh my goodness, this is far more attached than I thought it was. And so I laid out sweetgrass in the east. That's at masculine medicine. It is for our mind. It is for direction, new beginnings, and honoring fire. We have cedar. Cedar in the west, or sorry, in the south. That's our connection to our physical being, our physical body. It's to honor our physical self, the relationship that we have with the earth, and that relationship that we have with our own physical body, our physical being. And so we always lay it out for health, for wellness, for well-being, for grounding, of course. And then, oh, I got the hiccups, sorry. In the west, we have the women's medicine, which is sage. And sage is that cleansing medicine. It's connected to water. It's connected to healing. It's connected to community. It brings us all together in a good way. And so, because it's the universal medicine, anybody can smudge with it at any time. There's some teachings around if you're on your moon time, you don't smudge. But my personal teachings is if you are going to smudge on your moon time, make sure it's sage, because sage is the women's medicine. But also, I'm just going to put these all here. Oh, these are really stuck on there. They don't want to come off. They're very stubborn. But we don't smudge with sweetgrass when we're on our moon time, because sweetgrass is connected to fire. And so it would be like throwing a bucket of water onto a candle, because we're so powerful when we're on our moon time with that cleansing energy, that water energy, that moon energy, that other people's sweetgrass will kind of get overwhelmed with that energy, and it won't work quite as well for us, or possibly for anybody else around us. So just out of respect for that medicine, we'll take a step back when we're on our moon time, because we're pretty powerful. Oh, here we go. And then the last medicine in the north, we have tobacco. I've gotten gifted much tobacco in my day, and I always love to bring it for ceremony. And so this is also tobacco. Oh, yawn. Oh my goodness. It's been a really long week. I've been staying up quite late and making a lot of drums for a couple residencies that I have coming up. And so last night I finished an additional 4. The night before I made like 6. The night before that I made like 8. I've been making a lot of drums lately, so I'm getting pretty tired and my hands are raw. Anyway, we acknowledge the tobacco in the north. That's our connection to spirit. It's our connection to our ancestors, and it's also our connection to the air. So we always have all 4 directions, even if we're not using all of them. And so I've got my sage here. I'm going to give it a little scrunch. And I'm going to put it in there. all 4 directions in the smudge bowl. The bowl itself is water. When we put the medicine in there, it represents earth. When we light it on fire, it's going to be fire. And then the smoke is air. And so we only use matches, as the lighter disrespects the relationship that we have to the earth. If you only have a lighter, I recommend lighting one of your sage stems and then lighting the medicine. But you don't want to put the lighter directly on the medicine, because it dishonors the relationship that you have with the earth. Because we're not entitled to that. And I always fan it with my hand or a feather. I have no idea where that feather went. I have cats. But I did have a feather. I was very thankful for it. So, you never blow on it because your breath is your life and your life is precious. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to clean my hands so that anything I'm carrying, I get rid of. Actually bring it this way so that she's in the frame. And so, smudge. I'm going to bring it over my body 4 times to honor those 4 directions in my body. I'm going to smudge my mind so I can think clearly and learn from every person that crosses my path, so I can remember to be open-minded and never rigid with my thinking. Smudge my ears so I can be open to hear all of the messages that Creator sends me, to give thanks for my hearing, and to remember to listen twice as much as I speak. That's why we have 2 ears and 1 mouth. Smudge my eyes so I can see clearly and see all of the beauty that surrounds me, to give thanks for my vision, so I can see the unseen and see the beauty in every person that crosses my path. Beyond that surface level. Smudge your nose so you can smell danger, nature, and cookies. Smudge my mouth so I speak true and kind words that are helpful and benefit mankind. Just ask myself, is it truthful? Is it helpful? Is it kind? If it's none of those things, don't say no to it. Smudge my throat because I'm very thankful for my voice this lifetime, so I can continue to give voice to the voiceless and also to remember to raise the voice for myself. I smudge my lungs to breathe good, clean air and honor the sacred breath that we all share. I smudge my heart so I remember to be kind and compassionate and show unconditional love to all those around me, to my family, to my friends, to myself, and to all my relations, which is everything and everyone around me. And your stomach, so all the food that I eat this day will nourish my body in a good way. And to pray for abundance for those around the world that need it. Smudge my belly button, because that's where we're connected before we come into this world. So that's where our spirit speaks through us and to us. So we always want to honor that intuition. We always want to honor that spirit voice that speaks and leads us in a good way. Smudge my back and my shoulders so I can carry all of my responsibilities in a good way with humility, strength, and courage. I smudge my arms and my hands so I can do the work that Creator's put me here to do. I smudge my legs so I walk this road in a good way. And so I walk my path sure-footed with respect and truth and honesty. Oh. And I'm going to smudge my feet so I stay grounded and connected to Mother Earth, treading lightly upon her and honoring her with every step. And then if there's anywhere else in your body you need a little extra love, so my knee's still giving me a little bit of hassle, and also my ankle just a touch, but it's healing, so I'm very thankful for that. My hips, of course, because they're still not 100% better from all those surgeries. And then if there's anyone in your life you want to send some love and appreciation to, some healing to, you hold them in your heart, and you send them that love and that appreciation and that healing. And then when you're all done, you just say thank you in your language, which in my language is, in Korea is hi hi, Anishinaabe is magwich, in Michif is Marcy, and so everyone has a different way. But I just made this drum recently, actually remade it, I should say. So this is my son's drum, my eldest son's drum. So I fixed it, and I'm excited to give it back to him. He doesn't know yet. But that's okay, he never watches my live streams anyway, so he won't see. not ruining the surprise. But this made out of moose, and moose, of course, is the women's medicine. Moose, they lead. They are very matriarchal, and so they always are the ones at the front of the herd and always at the back of the herd. So they make sure that they lead in a good way, but they also make sure that nobody gets left behind. And that was the whole point of matriarchy. It wasn't, women are in charge and it was a top-down structure. It was women made sure that everyone was included in that decision-making process, that everyone was strong and healthy, because you're only as strong as the weakest person in your nation, in your society. And so I think that's something that we need to remember. And so the moose really do teach us that. Both the male and female moose have full racks of antlers, so it teaches us about that balance. But also it teaches us about honoring Grandmother Moon and honoring the water, because the moose is connected to the water just as the moon is connected to the water, which is our moon time. And so, yeah, awesome. I'm going to move this out of the way. So I'm going to actually start with one of my songs. One of the songs that came through me. And this is the daughter song, so I wrote it for my girls for an event, the Acidics dinner series, and it was just a really lovely opportunity to write a song. We were all assigned tables of kinship, and I got daughters, and at the time the girls weren't with me, and I thought, okay, daughters, well, sure, well, I guess I am a daughter, my mom's a daughter, I advocate for other people's daughters, so maybe that's where that connection and that kinship ties into the table. Little did I know that right before the pandemic, by our second dinner, I would have two girls moving in with me, and now I have taken them on, and they are my daughters. And so I'm really thankful to have them in my life, even though teenagers are hard, but I'm thankful that they're with me and safe, and are really carving their way in the world, and I'm very thankful and humbled for that. And so this song means daughter. So one of the words in it is sakihituin, which means I love you, and it's otanis, which means her daughter, Gitanis, which means your daughter, Nitanis, which means my daughter, and Kitanis the now, which means our daughters. And so I think that's really important to know that we have a joint responsibility to guide our future generations in a good way, just not just our daughters, but our two spirit generations and our men that are coming up. When we guide them in a good way, we leave that good foundation for those future generations. And this is really about taking on that responsibility of all of our future generations and leading them forward in a good way with compassion and kindness and strength, and showing them that they have that ability to carve it out. Kakiao ne wakimananuk means all my relations, because we are all related. We are all responsible for each other and for each other's children and great-grandchildren and great-great-great-grandchildren and so on and so forth. But all of those future generations are our responsibility. So this is daughter. I've done the daughter song, I'm going to do the mother song. So the mother song I learned from my friend Lacey, who is from Sault Ste. Marie. She learned it from an elder. We did a song exchange, and so this song is really, it's to honor all of the parents, the mothers, the grandmothers, the grandfathers, the aunties, the uncles, all of our family members who missed out on the opportunity to raise our children, whether that be because of the 60 scoop or the residential schools, or because of the foster care system or the justice system, which we call it a justice system, but that's really not. It's unjust completely. But really, as a parent, as somebody who's a caregiver, you have such a deep love and honor for your children, and you want to protect them as much as you can. You want to teach them everything that you can, and as they grow older, they drift further and further and further away. And so it's hard, because you want to hope and pray that you've given them all that you can. But in some cases, we weren't allowed to give our children all that we could, and it created this gap in our parenting as Indigenous people. For me, I was able to break that cycle of intergenerational trauma with my own children, and so not only did that lead me to heal myself by being a good parent, but also it's led my children to a point where they're healing. So my girls, they're healing from, that, well, unfortunately, the injustice of the foster care system. They were lost in for so long, and now that I'm adopting them and taking them on, I think it's so important that they know that they're loved unconditionally, and that they have that strength and that ability to break that cycle of intergenerational trauma the way that I did. With my boys, I know that they have never experienced that hurt and that abuse and that shame for being Indigenous that I did growing up. And I'm so blessed and thankful that they are proud of the blood that runs through their veins, that they are connected to culture, and we're able to share it with such pride and without fear. And so I think that's really our responsibility as parents, is to break those cycles and to make the world a little bit better when we got here through our children. And so this is the mother song, and in it you can hear the mother calling out to her children, and her children drifting further and further and further away. And so, yeah, I'm actually going to do it the way that the children do drift further and further away, to honor that loss, but also that sense of hope that we have for our future generations. I'm gonna do a couple more women's songs. So the first one I'm going to do is Joan Henry. She is a Arapaho Cherokee, and she has shared this women's honor song, and she's just lovely. Please do look her up on YouTube. I always acknowledge where those songs have come from, whether that be the nations they've come from or the stories behind them, because I think that's really important to be able to honor that history. And so, the last one was Anishinaabe, again from my friend Lacey from Sault Ste. Marie, so I'm very thankful for that song. But Joan Henry shared the story of this song, so in it you can hear kind of that pulse, as you know, that if anybody's ever picked up a baby who's trying to console it before, we know we kind of pulse with it, we kind of rock it back and forth, and so that's that natural pulse of Mother Earth that we kind of feel throughout our entire being whenever trying to comfort someone. And so yeah, this is really just about honoring that energy, honoring that nurturing energy and that life-giving energy and that lifeblood energy of Mother Earth, of our mothers, of our grandmothers, of our great-grandmothers, and of those future generations yet to be born, to really honor that birthing energy. And so this is the Women's Honor Song, Anagea. Anagea, weha weha, weha no way, weha weha, weha weha, weha, Anagea, weha weha, weha no way, weha weha, weha weha, we know we way how we are, way how the way, way how we are, way how we are, how we are, how we are. Woo! I think I might be freaking out my guinea pigs. Hi guys, sorry. But the next song I'd like to share is the Strong Woman song. So this has really become an anthem for murdered and missing Indigenous women, girls, and Two-Spirit people across Turtle Island, and now it's starting to become known for those people who've been exploited, and all of our family members, really, because it's this sense of strength about reclaiming that pride and coming together as a community to share that. So this song, I'm going to sit down because my ankle's starting to give out a little bit. All right. So this song originally was known as the Turtle Song, and when we look at the turtle, it represents our connection to Grandmother Moon. It represents our connection to our Mother Earth. The turtle has 13 bumps on its back to represent the 13 moons in a year, and then it has the 28 ridges on the outside to represent those 28 days in a moon cycle. And so we need those 28 days. We need that moon to be able to honor it and honor our path in a good way. Women cycle with the full moon. And so this is why, of course, naturally, it would become the Strong Women song. And so this song was actually brought into a prison as part of a recidivism program, basically to help heal women who were in prison, because when Indigenous women go to prison, it's because they're escaping a lot of times abuse or intergenerational trauma, or there's a lot of stuff that they're carrying, but also they lose so much. They lose their identity, they lose their connection to their families, they lose who they are and that pride in oneself. And so what this program was, it was really about reclaiming their strength as Indigenous women. It was really about reclaiming their path and their strength of their ancestors, reclaiming their culture so that they could heal and move forward in a good way by instilling pride in them. And so of all of the women in this program, this really became their theme song. And so even though there was a riot in the prison, all of the Indigenous women didn't want to be involved in the riot, so they walked over to one side and they just continued to sing this song over and over and over again, and that really gave them strength. And of all of the women who were involved in that program, 98% never reoffended. And so it shows that there's power in healing, there's power in reclamation, and there's power in our traditional ways of of our traditional justice systems, because it wasn't really about punishment. It was about embracing what you're good at and healing so that you could do betterment for your community. And so that's truly what this song represents. Then it became really that theme for murdered and missing Indigenous women from the East Coast all the way over. And so when we sing it, it's really about reclaiming that strength as women, that strength as a community, but it elevates each other's voices. And so when I sing it as a heartbeat, because that's that women's beat, or that honor beat, or that healing beat. And I rise up, because I think it's important that we come together as women, as community, and rise above together. And that's how we can do that, with our voices, with our drums, and leading our community in a good way. That's what matriarchs are all about. We're about leading community in a good way and getting things done. And so yeah, this is the Strong Woman song. Whoop. Push that out of the way. There we go. time for the star people. So, because all of our relations, we are related. And so this next song, this is the Strong Woman song. This Strong Woman song is, or not strong, I just did the Strong Woman song. It's been a long day. So I'm going to share the Women's Warrior song. The Women's Warrior song kind of was cultivated in the West Coast. So that one is an Oji Cree song. This one is a Salish song, a Coast Salish song. And in it, it was actually brought forth during AIM, during kind of the Oka crisis, and there were little protests to kind of support it. I say little. There was big protests to support it across Canada, and in particular, there was a few nations that were actually in a battle with another resort in BC, and they were standing up for what was right. And the mom and dads and community members were on the front lines, but the grandmothers were the ones keeping the home fires burning. So they were making sure that everybody was fed in the front lines. They were making sure that nobody got left behind. Everybody was taken care of. The kids were being taken care of. And then the RCMP got a great idea. Well, why don't we just arrest the grandmothers? And then the protests will stop because nobody will be feeding them. Nobody will be taking care of the kids. Big mistake. So they went and they arrested like 40 grandmas and threw them all in jail. But of course, you can only hold someone for 30 days without any charges, thinking that this was going to quell whatever was happening. This was going to shut down the protests. Nope. So instead, the people brought all their children to the front lines. They made it more like a family event. And so the RCMP couldn't step in and do anything because there was children there. There was elders there. There's other people. And so what were they going to do? And so they were really stuck. And so on that 30th day, when they were going to release the grandmothers from prison for doing absolutely nothing, because they had to let them go at that 30-day point, when the grandmothers exited the courthouse, they actually were drumming and singing this song. This is the Women's Warrior song, to honor the warrior spirits that's within each and every one of us. A warrior is someone who stands up for what's right. It's someone who defends their community. It's someone who puts their self on the line to defend someone who is less fortunate or who is more compromised than they are. It's someone who can raise their voice so that they can elevate the voice of others. That's truly a warrior spirit. And so a gentle warrior is someone who just takes care of people in the background. There are mums and aunties and uncles and two-spirit family members who are picking up the pieces in their community after they've lost someone. And those truly are the warriors, because you have to continue every day to take a breath, put one foot in front of the other, and because they have a safe and a strong facade sometimes, even though you're dying inside. It's important. A warrior steps forward no matter how scared you are. So what courage is, it's facing your fears. It's not being able to overcome them, but it's facing them and standing up against something that's terrifying. And that's truly what a warrior spirit is. And so this is the Women's Warrior song. Hey, share one more song before I take off today. I am going to shorten it up just because it's been a long day. But I wanted to share the Journey song. And this song I wrote while I was in a hospital, actually. Not while I was in the hospital as a patient, but I was filling time because one of the other artists didn't show up for the event. And so I had to fill a full hour. And so I was like, what am I going to do? Let's see what comes out. And so I just trusted Creator, and then this song came out. And it was at a time that I really needed this song to just be able to honor the journey ahead and to remind myself the same thing that the Thunderbird song teaches you, which everything happens for a reason, and it's fate and destiny and those things that push us forward. But it reminded me that, sometimes we have to let those things go so that we can move ahead on our journey, and we have to say goodbye so that eventually we can come back to where we need to be. And so this is the Journey song. Sekihito into my family. Sekihito into my friends. Sekihito into my journey until we meet again. Sekihito into your family. Sekihito into your friends. Sekihito into your journey until we meet again. Sekihito into their family. Sekihito into their friends. Sekihito into their journey until we meet again. Sekihito into our family. Sekihito into our friends. Sekihito into our journey until we meet again. Well, hey, yeah, hey, way, yeah, hey, oh. Well, hey, way, yeah, oh. Well, hey, way, yeah, hey, oh. Oh, hey, yeah, oh. Until we meet again. I'm not gonna say the thank you song. The thank you song has been in my mind. And so this song I worked with Nitsutapi School, and it came out naturally when I was teaching them how to say thank you in my language. And I'm starting to implement other languages. So depending on the territory that we're in, we can add more languages. And I think that's important to be able to acknowledge the territory that you're in. So at the end of the song, I go, hey, because that's how we know how to say thank you in Blackfoot. We have Ishnish in it, as well as Masicho. And so, yeah. Thank you is hi hi, Miigwech, Marcy. So, Ishnis, Masicho. Hey. Hi hi, Miigwech, Marcy. Hi hi, Miigwech, Marcy. From me to you, and you to me. Hi hi, Miigwech, Marcy. Way hey yo, way hey yo, way hi yo, way hi yo, way hey yo, way hey yo, way hi yo, hi hi, Miigwech, Marcy. Ishnish, Miigwech, Marcy. From me to you, and you to me. Hi hi, Miigwech, Marcy. Way hey yo, way hey yo, way hi yo, way hi yo. Hey yo, hey yo, hi hi, Miigwech, Marcy. Hi hi, Miigwech, Marcy. From me to you, and you to me. Hi hi, Miigwech, Marcy. Way hey yo, way hey yo, way hi yo, way hi yo, way hey yo, way hey yo, way hi yo, way hi hi, Miigwech, Marcy. Hi hi, Miigwech, Marcy. From me to you, and you to me. Ishnish, Masicho, Marcy. Way hey yo, hey yo, way hi yo, way hi yo, way hey yo, way hey yo, way hi yo, hi hi, Miigwech, Marcy. Hi hi, Miigwech, Marcy. From me to you, and you to me. Hi, Miigwech, Marcy. Hi hi, Miigwech, Marcy, Marcy. Woo! Awesome. Miigwech, everyone. Hi, thank you so much for being here. I'm really, really thankful and humbled to be able to do this. Trying to do it every week, even a little bit late, but that's okay. But yeah, please, please, please do something for International Women's Day, and just keep this in your calendar. So on the May 5th, there is the Red Dress Day event. We are going to be at the Field of Crosses, which We will be hanging ribbons everywhere. So we're definitely looking for volunteers for that event. We're looking for donations for that event. So please do reach out to me. I will share the event once it's kind of up and running, and there's like a link to it somewhere. But I will definitely share that when it is up. But again, miigwech everyone. Thank you so much. Hi hi. And I will see you next week. I hope you have a wonderful International Women's Day. Please do honor those people in your life. Reach out and just wish them a happy International Women's Day. You know, give your mom a high five, or your grandma, or your kokom. And your kokom will be like, happy high five, kokom. But she's in Edmonton, so that'd be a really long high five. But I'm really just thankful for the strong matriarchs in my life and for all that we've done to rise above. And so, hi everyone. Miigwech. Thank you again for joining me, and I will see you next week.